everyone. This light is going to blind me. You will not be able to see me. It's all kinds of crazy going on. But I have to do the show with no glasses. So this should be fun. So hey guys, how's everyone doing tonight? Let's see if I can do anything with this lighting at all. I think I prefer that. Okay, guys. Hello. I got to give me some really nice lighting. Guess what? You are on live with the Conscious Coach. Hi, guys. I'm Kathleen, your Conscious Coach. This lighting is weird. There's no saving it. We're going to get into it and have a conversation about John Gray. We're going to talk about John Gray. Tyler Perry is a billionaire. I say it again because I thought he was already a billionaire. So Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey did an interview with Rihanna, and she said she's still in love with Chris. I'm gonna tell you what I like about that. And then the police were called because a woman stabbed her boyfriend. I'm gonna tell you what that was all about. So let's get started. Let us get started. How you guys doing? Let me check on you, make sure you're okay. We got this COVID situation still going on, so I hope you guys are staying safe. That's of the utmost important to me that we are staying safe. You better be staying safe out there. Wear your mask, wash your hands, all the regular mojo that we normally do. I need you to be doing that because I don't need any of you to come up sick. So make sure you're washing your hands, wearing your mask, doing your PPE, and all the things that you need to be doing. Okay? All right. Let me scooch up a little bit. Maybe better. All right. So I just got out of a meeting just a minute ago. I'm just thinking I changed my seat. Maybe that'll go. All right. Did that help? Okay. So I just got out of my meeting just a moment ago. Now I got to bring my mouse back here. I just got out of my meeting just a moment ago. Yes, this is my Colin Kaepernick shirt that I love so much. I'm with Colin. It says CK7. Yeah, I'm with Colin. So anyway, this is gonna be a hot mess. Anyway, let me get control of my mouse. Boom. Okay. So anyway, this I have a store on Teespring called what's it called? Message Tees. So if you're looking for any shirt that I wear, that's a t-shirt that I say is mine, you can go to Message Tees, TEASE, and find the t-shirt. This is one of them. I'm with Holland. And it says, and it reads, real men wear courage because they hate the smell of fear. Been rocking with Colin from day one. So anyway, we're going to talk about John Gray. Let's get into it. Welcome to the show, by the way. This is going to be interesting. I think I need a bigger book. Okay. This is going to be interesting. All right, got that down. Okay, so this is the Conscious Hour with Kathleen. I am your Conscious Coach. Now, I just want to remind you that even though I might be talking about things that are interesting and trending and things like that, I'm also coming from a level of conscious mind thinking. So you will hear me talk about all of this, what's trending and what's going on, but I will be lending some conscious mind thoughts because, yeah, that's what I do. So let's get to John Gray. Now, John Gray, as you know, he is the pastor of this church. I think it's called Relentless, is the name of his church. God bless him. Hallelujah. This is John Gray. Now, John Gray being the pastor of this church. Now, you guys may remember, it's been a while, but a while back, John Gray was caught having an affair, right? You know, if you in the church world, you kind of know a little bit about the background. Now, John Gray is sorry again. But this time was complicated. At least his message was. And that's the part I want to talk about. So John Gray, you know, takes the opportunity to have this whole setup where he called it face it. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. You can't laugh at the man because none of us are above getting caught up in a situation, so to speak. I'm gonna add a so to speak on there. But is this not screaming performance right here? Is that not screaming movie to you? I'm telling you, to me, I just look when I saw that image, I'm like movie, performance, actor. That's just me. That's just me. John Gray has a whole performance. Some people come out and sing. It was like regular praise and worship or whatever. So he had some people come out and sing or whatever. And I don't know, a little adoration, worship. I don't know what that was. Then he comes out. Mind you, he comes out on stage with his phone in his hand with like the Bible app because he's gonna give you some verses of scripture, whatever. So he comes out on stage and he gives you the little verses of scriptures or whatever he was going to do. And then what John Gray does is John Gray takes those scriptures. I don't like that he was using words like pseudo. He was saying some things were fake. He went back to a time in his childhood. He put emphasis on the fact that he was raised by his mother, a single parent. He kept emphasizing on his troubles and what he had been through, his struggles. He kept mentioning his struggles and stuff like that. And so here he is laying it thick. And he first comes to the church before he apologizes to his wife, who I believe is like a co-pastor or something, but I don't know. So before he apologized to his wife, who in my mind, I always think wife come first. You got to be conscious of what you're doing and what you're saying and why. Yes, you have a church, blah, blah, blah. I'm one of those people who believe that your family comes first, point blank and period. Family comes first. I think if you don't value the fact that your family does come first, I think that's where you really lose at. I honestly do. I think that's where you lose at if your family doesn't come first. That has to be your mentality. You understand what I'm saying? You feel the difference. When you put your family first, and guys, I've been preaching this for years. I've been preaching this for years. Ugh. I've been preaching this for years. When you put your family first, that's when you know you're in line with God. You understand how important it was? When God said in the Bible, he says, for this reason, you're going to forsake your mother and your father. You're going to cleave to your wife. So, family comes first. If you have that mentality, I want to say to Pastor John Gray, if you have that mentality where family comes first, you understand the value system of God. And when you understand the value system of God, then you understand what's valuable. You understand why you shouldn't cheat. You understand why you should be faithful. You understand why you don't want to be unfaithful and end up in front of the church apologizing again. You have to have a family first mentality because, and I'm going to tell you why I say that as a conscious coach. I'm going to tell you why I say that. God is too big for you to understand to the point where your mind will allow you to accept him. Because when we understand, how can I say that? I guess it'll come as I speak. God is God, right? Sometimes because God is God, we think God ain't got time for petty stuff. And we think what we're doing is petty. Because a lot of our behaviors are what we seen as we were growing up. You hear him mention quite often his circle, the people he's around. He alludes to the fact that he sees a lot of this behavior in a lot of other people. In fact, during his Face It video, he said several times, guys, he refers to, I've seen a lot, I know a lot of what people are doing out here. And he was almost saying why God is choosing to expose me. I don't understand because I know a lot of other people out here are doing the same thing I'm doing. And he almost referenced to God as a person who he was half engaged with, if you will. And I think that's part of the problem. We see God as big, we see God as full of grace, and that's what he is. But God also sent his son Jesus in the person of God who walked among us to show us the appropriate behaviors to have in the church. Didn't he say Peter had denied him thrice? Did Peter cuss 3 times? Tell me where I'm wrong at. So it was all about learning how to behave like a Christian, learning how to be like Jesus for real in your behaviors. And I don't think we talk about having the right mindset and the right behaviors in the church enough. We talk enough about sin. I mean, I ain't saying we talk enough about sin, but we talk enough about grace, right? And I know a lot of people don't like for anybody to talk about anybody in the church because we are heavily inundated with religious banter. We're heavily engaged in religious rhetoric. We're heavily engaged in this religious philosophy and ideology and all of that. And so quite often we miss the simple things about God as far as how he wants you to behave as a husband. We fail to realize that the scripture actually say no man is caught up is no man is caught up and swept away unawares. You get into these things because you first desire to. Not only do you desire to, but you make provisions to do so. I would appeal to Pastor John Gray that it is at those moments when you need the most accountability. You gotta want to be accountable. It's at those moments when you know you're doing something that you don't have any business doing. And the easiest way to know when you're doing something you ain't got no business doing it. Funny thing is, it stays the same from childhood to adulthood. The number one thing is you don't want anybody to see you doing it. It's a secret. It's private. It's your business. It's what you're trying to do in a moment. So whenever you have to secretly, see this thing right here? Whenever you have to secretly text message, oh, lost my mouse. Get a phone number. Your wife can't have a code to your phone. You scared she gonna run up on a picture. You liking and loving people pictures on Facebook. abundantly. I mean, it's okay to be like, oh, I like that. Oh, I love that. But some of y'all is stalking people on social media to the point where you DMing them on the backhand side. Now, if you're single, say hallelujah, because you can do that. But if you're married, say no way, because you cannot do that. That's simple behavior. And some of us don't like to admit it, but right in the church, we got serious behavior problems. We don't know how to behave, honey. We don't know how to treat our wives, our husbands. We don't know how to treat the other people at the church. We don't know how to treat the people outside of the church. We have behavior problems. And this guy's message, I mean, the word that comes to mind was it was very convoluted. It had so many pieces to it. At one point, he was rebuking and correcting other pastors, and people doing the same thing he was doing. At one point, he was warning his followers, his church. At one point, look, this man was all over the place. I don't even. For me, as if I was in his church and I was his follower, I couldn't. I cannot. Like when you start going this way, I'm out. I can't do it. And so, chat is open, by the way. Let me type you guys a message in here. I'm just gonna type hello. So chat is open. So if you want to jump in and say something, you absolutely can. I'm typing hello. Anyway, hello. So John Gray is this individual who I'm live on. It's chat is open on YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook. I am Kathleen, your conscious coach. Um, YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Periscope, follow me, please. Facebook, follow. Instagram, follow. Everybody follow the conscious coach. Here's the thing. You have to be aware of who you are, and you have to be willing to change. And I think I put something on here about that. Because I find that we are, oh, I need a little grip. Let me open up this book. I find that we are, Lord help me tonight. Lord be a stand-up desk. That's what I need. I find that we are the only people who don't want healing. Sounds strange, doesn't it? And I'm trying to find what's the name? That's why I'm looking this way. I guess I didn't put it on here. Okay, that's okay. We are the only ones who I feel like don't want healing. I can tell you 100 times, I repent, I'm sorry, I repent, I'm sorry, I repent, I'm sorry. Look, guys, it doesn't take a miracle for you to have the right behaviors. It's really a behavior problem. You want to get up there on the altar and pour your heart out to God. I'm for that. You want to lay on the altar. You want people to pour oil on you. I'm good with that. You can do that too. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to make a choice about your behavior. Point blank and period. I'm going to tell you a story about myself. When you want to stay away from somebody, because you really want to be with that person, you really in love with that person in your head. Person could be no good whatsoever, child. We in love with God knows who. And God told me some simple little things that I could do to help myself, not contribute to behavior that would get me in a situation where I would be doing something that was unpleasing to God. He said, don't drive down that street. Don't go that way. Find another way to go. Take the number out of your phone. Even if you got it in there, we'll put cute stuff in there. We'll put my brother or anything in our phone. If you want to avoid the behavior, you can't go that anyway. You can't make provisions. You can't. And if you're struggling at that point, there's no way you're going to have victory in the end. That's impossible. You're not going to make every provision for your flesh and then end up having a victory in the end. How is that going to work out? So I'm going to take the number. I'm going to start texting. I'm going to start calling, hearing that voice in my ear. getting to know a little bit about her life. You're gonna meet up just for breakfast because you know what? It's before work. We hungry. Let's eat. You think you're gonna do all of that and magically just walk away and have the victory? It's not going to happen. So I say that it's more of a behavior problem than anything else, and we don't talk about that. But God says what in His Word? Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. All that. Speaking about this pastor now, there are so many scriptures in the Bible about having control of your mind and your thoughts, which leads you to control your behavior and your body. So if you can't control your mind and your thoughts, how are you going to then control your body? So then how are you going to stop cheating? You can't even control your thoughts. And then I say all that to say God wants us to be thinking people, and it seems like we don't think. We don't think about anything. And this dude took 3 minutes in that whole video, which was 30 minutes long. Approximately 20 of the minutes was just him straight talking that I saw. Less than 3 minutes he spent to apologize to his wife and children. And I'm not going to speak too much on the wife and children because I ain't trying to be disrespectful. But he spent less than 3 minutes apologizing to the person he actually hurt the most, his wife and kids. I don't know where we get this. I ain't going to say that. I don't know where we get this all-centered dedication to God. We have, who were those people in the Gentiles? The Pharisees or the Gentiles or whoever. The ones that like to put on a show. They like to put on a show, but they weren't really living about nothing. And then Jesus had to come around and tell them, look, this is the greatest commandment that you can fulfill. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, basically. And I feel like John Gray is teetering on that little fence right there. It's become convenient. John Gray, if I could talk to you for a minute as a conscious coach, I would tell you this. I see the reference back to your childhood and the manner in which you addressed it fully makes me believe that it's not so much that you need to deal with your childhood stuff as much as you need to understand you're no longer a child. See, I think that's why Paul wrote, I think it was Paul who said, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I did childish things. He said, but then I understand that now. I am a man. So if I could talk to John right now as a conscious coach, first, understand that right now, you are a man. Your behaviors should line up with those of a married man who is a pastor. That's your alignment right now. That's your position right now. And everything that fights against that, the only way you maintain the victory every time until you get to a place where that devil can't even bother you no more. Because see, at some point you gotta rise up. Your thought, your real faith comes through your thoughts. So if you can't think it, how can you actually believe it and receive it? First, believe you are a real man. You're not a little boy. You can't go back and visit 13 when you get ready. You can't go back and visit with pain. You can't go back and visit with hurt. You can't live there. You don't live there anymore. What's your address? What's your address, John Gray? What's your address, young lady, young man, whoever watching this? Who are you now? Live there. Stay there. Don't go back looking for it. I'm telling you, you have to be conscious of that. And yes, you can deal with your hurt, you can deal with your pain, you can deal with all of that, but you better be who you are right now, in the position you're in right now. Because if you let anything come against where you are right now, you are not living your best life, and you're sure not living the life that God wanted you to live. And here's another thing that I believe will help. Stop with the cliche promises. Look, most of what is said in the black church is really, really cliche talk. You know, I had to sit with myself and I prophesied to myself. He goes on to say his wife told him he was doing a self-fulfilling prophecy. Look, sir, you're a grown man. You understand? If you haven't learned to listen and apply at this point in your life, there's really no excuse for that. I'm Look, there's no excuse. I know we make excuses, but sorry, I haven't changed much from my early uh preaching days. You got to look at life like this. We do a lot of stuff because we know we ain't finna drop off the plane and go to hell that same day. For the most part, we don't know when we're gonna leave here. But a lot of things we do because we know, if I do this, God ain't finna just send a lightning bolt down, strike me, and take me up out of here. So we do a lot of things just because of that. Because of Ecclesiastes, what is that? 2:6, I can't remember. Where it said judgment against the evil work is not speedily executed. Therefore, the heart of man, uh, in other words, they keep doing it. They heart gets fixated on continuing to do evil because they're not punished immediately. And we see this over and over again. Where does it sexual transmitted diseases come from? People who keep having sex with people who are not their wife, having too many partners. Eventually, you get an STD. Eventually, you sleeping around with everybody. You're gonna come up with a baby. Eventually, you're gonna come up and be in some type of situation. So we have to understand that. I don't know. Can somebody tell me? I don't know. Can somebody tell me why we got these issues of blood and we refuse to be healed? Some of us don't want to be healed. Pastor John Gray, do you really want it? Call me. I believe I can help. Woo, so much stuff he said. He kept talking about if God would deal with you outwardly. God ain't get. Can I say this? God don't want no ratchet points. Okay? All this, I cheated on my wife and I'm going through a process, and that's ratchet. It's church ratchetness. And God don't need no ratchet points. He don't need no ratchet servants. So we really have to fix ourselves. It's okay to fix yourself. I don't know who told black folk, and I'm talking to black folks right now. I don't know who told y'all couldn't change. I don't know. Who told you? I don't know. Who told you couldn't change? Who told you couldn't do better? Who told you couldn't be a perfect father, a good man, a good father, a good wife? Who told you didn't deserve that? Like, I want their name and number right now, because we are fascinated by crazy, by things that hurt, by things that bring pain, by things that are dysfunctional. We are all in. So I'm asking you, who told you couldn't live a better life? We don't mind cussing our kids out. It frustrates me to no end when they say things a black woman would say, and then they got those alphabets. Get your and then we know. Oh, I know what that means. I know what that says. It's saying get your. Oh, that's how my mama used to talk to me. Oh my God, yes, child, yes. Toxic and dysfunctional as ever. Who told you, black people, that you don't get to live a better life and make better choices? I don't understand the fixation on the crazy. And I grew up in the projects, and I heard some cousins and outs, and saw some abuse and experienced some abuse. And look, stop dragging that stuff from generation to generation. Calling it a generational curse, and it's really a generational choice. Now, John Gray cheats on his wife. He came from a single parent home. I want to show you a quick pattern here. John Gray, I'm using him for an example, cheats on his wife, loses his family. My understanding, he got two kids. I think they're two boys. So now you were brought up in a single family. Now your wife ends up a single mother. Now your children are raised by what? A single mother. Then they grow up, they dysfunctional, they don't have all their emotional connections, they don't have everything they need because you're outside the home instead of in the home. Woo, we just created a whole recycle of events. No, they're not going to be good. No, co-parenting is not the answer. The answer is grow up. Adults already. That is the answer. Whether we like it or not, it is the answer. Grow up already adult. You can't just go, you can't keep living 14. You can't keep living 14. You can't keep living 16. You can't keep living 17. You can't keep living 18. You can't keep living 21. You can't keep living 23. Make some decisions about your life, and those decisions should be according to Philippians 4 and 8. Things that are good, things that are lovely, things that have a good report. Is it a good report for you to be caught cheating on your wife? Okay, I'm just a conscious coach. Don't mind me, because other people will lie to you. But you listen to them. I did like one thing that he said. What was the one thing he said that I really liked? I thought I wrote it down. Oh, he did say one thing. He said, I'm not going to die because I won't deal." Because he was referencing to how God, after you don't listen for so long, we know you'll get a reprobate mind, or God might kill you. Guys, we are fascinated with this cliche language that we have in the church. And I'm from a Pentecostal and Baptist background, and I'm telling you, a lot of it is insanity. We will say anything. So he's just talking about how he's not going to die because he won't deal. Sir, sit down and fix your behavior. You're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to say, I'm a man. What does a man do? A man takes care of his family. He's faithful to his wife. He takes care of his kids. And this is what I don't understand. If you're spending the time with your wife that your wife really needs, because wives got needs, not just you make money, but they need your affection, attention, watch movies together, love making, stuff need to be done around the house. That'll take up your whole day, every day, period. But God is good. So he lets you have sports with your children. Look, some of us need to be working out. So if we really use our time, our God-given time, by the time we get through, as a husband, I would say to John Gray, by the time you get to take care of your wife, exercise and take care of yourself, prepping for your week, spending time with your kids, reaching out, because you're a pastor, my God, reaching out to the people that need help in your congregation, making more time to make yourself available as a leader, then you probably wouldn't have time to catch a text. Right? You probably need communication skills and all that, but hey, that don't stop you from growing and changing your behavior. He said another thing. He said, "I've never preached a sermon in my conscious mind that was self-serving. I've never preached a judgmental sermon because I know where I am." Something to that effect. Go look it up on YouTube. The fact that he said in his conscious mind he can't think of a sermon that he preached that was self-serving. Let me tell you something as a conscious mind coach. If your conscious cannot stop you, I don't want to say that. The reason why you need to build up your conscious mind is so that you can be better. at whatever you do. Now you're a pastor, but this is true if you're a parent, if you are a teacher, like whatever role you have in life, the more you build your conscious mind, the more you elevate your conscious mind, the more beneficial you will be. The more you'll be more fluid in your operation because you don't have anything to hide. You're not coming from a place of secrets. So when you're able to operate from a space of your conscious mind, you don't have to hold back a sermon. You don't have to hold back you wouldn't be self-serving anyway because you're conscious of the fact of who you are and what you do, what your role is and what you're chosen for. So if you mean by a judgmental sermon that you don't want to talk to nobody about adultery, fornication, homosexuality, um, not beating up your wife, um, being truthful about money, what sermons can you not preach? He said some other stuff I wanted to talk to you about, and oh, he did talk a lot about his personality. It came off to me as disingenuous. I'm just gonna be honest. But I ain't God. I can't, I can't judge him. Look, he asked the Lord for forgiveness. I hope he did forgive him because we all need forgiveness. But ugh, the way he put it out there. Anyway, whew, he was like, how dare people think that I would take pride? Who was I? Talked a lot about presentation and how he liked how other people looked and all that stuff and how he wanted the perfect marriage and the perfect relationship. And then he threw a little piece in there where he was talking about Samson and Delilah, but I think he tried to wrap himself up in that. And he was like, he wasn't looking for sex. He was looking for understanding. Because apparently his wife understands him and she knows his 13-year-old self or 16-year-old self and all this other stuff he keeps alluding to. I didn't like that part. It's a lot of parts in that I didn't like. I don't see a whole lot of accountability in all of that. And so I would say um, that that part gonna need to be fixed for sure. Um, anyway, yeah, that whole Delilah and Samson thing, and he was like, be weary because they look good, but they're there to tear you down. Okay, that's like ancient history. Ain't no extra woman coming in your life to help you build your family up. That ain't gonna never happen. Who's looking for an extra wife or extra woman to build their family up? Raise your hand. You think that's gonna work? Please. I don't even want another woman to step on the sidewalk in front of my house. Period, Pooh. I am your conscious coach. We're talking about John Gray as Tyler Perry, Rihanna loves Chris Brown, and what in the world is going on with this police dog? We're going to talk about Rihanna, Chris Brown, and Tyler Perry, but first, there was a situation. That's enough about John Gray. There was a situation where the police had to be called. I am burning up. My office is always burning up. The rest of the house be cold as ice, and I be cold as I don't know what until I go live. Then I'm hot, face oily, everything. Okay, so a woman calls the police, or the police is called. Police show up to the house. This woman has stabbed this man over 8 times. Can you say the number 8? Because she found him looking at naked pictures of. This is the trigger. Okay, sexual assault type of information about to roll off my tongue. So you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So the woman found him with naked pictures of her daughter. They got into an argument. She ended up stabbing him like 8 times. Police found him bloody on the sidewalk and her bloody in the house. They didn't say how old the daughter was or anything like that. Um, so yeah, that's what had happened. Anyway, I'll be following that story because I posted on my page TVB Contact 3, where we fight against and try to prevent sexual child abuse and sexual abuse in general. So if you need some more information about that, you need to download my app because now I've included. So on the app, your children can report. They can do a screenshot, they can email you, they can text message you, whatever, and report. It lets them do a description, location. They can mark on there. It's basically got a male and a female in like a bathing suit, and they can mark on there. At the bottom, though, they can check mark bullying, chat room, police. Now I added police, and they can tell you what happened. They can even record it and send you the recording, or they can send you the cards or the images or whatever they want to do. It's phenomenal. So the police were called, and y'all, I told y'all there was a trigger warning for some of you guys out there. It's a trigger warning. I'm gonna follow this because I want to know details because I like to share things with my audience. But that's too much. Men, like I said, y'all out here, men, women, adults, y'all out here with all these behavior problems. You need to fix yourself. Okay? We're gonna move on to Oprah because that's good stuff. So yeah, where's Oprah? Who know Oprah Winfrey? Nah, I'm joking. Who know Oprah Winfrey? Y'all like, who don't know Oprah Winfrey? Oprah Winfrey did a podcast interview, from what I understand. She did a podcast interview. During the interview, they brought up the old tape of Rihanna. And then Rihanna ended up telling her again that she loves, from my understanding, Rihanna ended up telling her again that she still loves Chris Brown. Now, you know, Rihanna, let me give you Rihanna. Rihanna is Rihanna child. Look at her. She's gorgeous. Body for days. Body to body. She got that. Beautiful face, which totally her whole makeup line complements who she is. Sexy, tall, beautiful skin. She wears, I guess she has a good natural hair, and then she wears wigs and all that stuff. But phenomenal as an entrepreneur. She has her own makeup line, her own lingerie. What else does she has? Fenty Beauty. She has shades, like sunglasses. And her makeup line did better than the Jenners, the Kardashians. She winning, and everybody keep begging her for a song. I love her voice. She used to sing this song, Umbrella, Umbrella, Umbrella. And then she wrote that other song, How About a Round of Applause? It just be cracking me up. It cracks me up. So so sometimes I don't like listening to her music, but I know she got those two songs. And I know they're cool. I can't think of whatever other songs she got at the time. Something about rain. Oh, that's the umbrella. Okay, well, Oprah did the podcast, and Rihanna apparently still has a thing for Chris Brown. I can tell you this: Chris Brown is not that into other chicks. How can I say that? What I'm saying is that this man ain't had a stable, committed relationship since him and this woman broke up. I mean, he just had a baby, and he was like posted on Instagram or wherever, like it's whatever. And the girlfriend was like her feelings was hurt some type of way or whatever. I don't know what's up with Chris Brown. He lives in his own world, very talented as well. dancer or whatever, performer or whatever. Oh, and I told you I was going to tell you what I thought about it. Okay. Here's my thing. Didn't you just hear me a minute ago say, I don't know what it is about brown people that think we can't do better? And when I say do better, why don't we think that we can heal, develop healthy relationships, and then if they're in a healthy place mentally, people, you're supposed to grow up, right? So if you grew up in a house and your mom and dad was fighting and acting a fool, I don't understand. You didn't like it. You didn't like getting popped in the mouth or whatever happened to you. Why do you then grow up and then basically do the same behaviors? And they're not good. Behavior, behavior, behavior. I can't say that enough. We have to be conscious of our behaviors. We have to be conscious that we are adults. I'm an adult. I am an adult. I am not going to be running around here acting like I'm 18, 20, 21. I'm a full grown woman. You have to accept it. Make your mind accept it. You're looking foolish out here. And when they were young, they looked foolish. They did some foolish things. They came from some messed up homes. You can't use that as an excuse. You have to use it as a catalyst. You understand the difference? You can't use it as an excuse. You're grown. You're an adult. You have to be accountable. But you can use it as a catalyst. The thing that makes you move into the right direction. What's making you move into the right direction? You got everything wrong stacked against you, baby. You're black. So you got racism. You probably grew up in an absent parent home because your daddy wasn't around. 73% of African American homes are absent parent homes. So you probably saw, because people are desperate, and some people, not all people. So hold your shoe, don't throw your shoe at me. But sometimes we grow up in these homes where we see alcoholism, we see chain smoking, we see weed smoking, we see people getting drunk. I said alcoholism, didn't I? We see back in my day, it was crackhead people. People had crackhead parents. So we grow up around this. We can grow up in the suburbs and still you could have had a crackhead mama or daddy. I knew people who grew up in the suburbs was two-parent homes and the daddy was a pimp. Child, we thought that man had a real job. You sex trafficking and human trafficking in the 90s is all you was doing. So we've grown up in these horrible home situations. We love our family. We love our people. It was what it was, but we're adults now. So you have to adult. Okay? You don't need 50 girlfriends. You don't. Look, Chris Brown and Rihanna, I just want to give y'all permission to get yourselves together, get you some good counseling, and make sure make sure you've adulted. Make sure, Chris Brown, that there are some places you just don't go anymore. Rihanna, make sure it's places you just don't go anymore. Like, I can't even go to that space in my head. When I was young and in a relationship, both me and the person I'm married to, we could fight. I could throw these hands. I will bust your head. I will shoot you. But I adulted. When I look like a grown woman, I gotta fight you? No, that's bad. I'm out. That ain't grown woman. That's not adult. I gotta argue with you. We can't sit down and talk and figure out what we need to do with our life. I'm out of here. Crave a healthy relationship like you crave everything else in your life. However, you crave everything else in your life, crave a healthy relationship the same way you crave everything else in your life. You know how you want something, you want it so bad that you ain't gonna give up. You're not going to stop. You want it all. And look, next person I'm about to talk about is Tyler Perry, and we'll be closed out for the night. Tyler Perry started with a mission that he just wanted everybody to see his talent. This boots on the ground, this coming from the mud, this Tyler Perry said, I just want everybody to see my talent. Our talent on the corner. Our talent in a local establishment. Our talent anywhere. I want everybody to see it. And then he monetized that. Okay, I want everybody to see it, but you got to pay $10 for a ticket. And then he made it nicer. Okay, I want everybody to see it, but I want you to pay $20 for the ticket. And now we're in the theater. Okay? So then he said, okay, I got it. I want everybody to see it. I want to hire other people. I'm still going to do it in the theater. And I want you to pay $35. Okay? Then he said, I got talent. I want everybody to see it. I want everybody to know it. But now I'm going to movie theaters all across the world. Want a healthy relationship like you want to make your money goals. Want a healthy family like you want $1 million in your bank account in the morning. Want a healthy marriage and relationship like you want everything else. Why are you skipping the healthy relationship? Why are we skipping that part? I got a Rolls Royce, but we still fight and act a fool in our house. Oh, I got a big, pretty house, but my husband ain't been home in 2 days. Oh, I got a real nice house, but I just found out my wife was, messing with some dude on the job. Oh, I got a big, beautiful house, but I don't spend no time with my kids. I got a big bank account, but I don't spend no time with my family. Don't go to church because black folk love church. We love it. I love it too. I do. What about being a healthy person? Some stuff you just ought not do when you adult. My God, adult. That's the part we're missing. Go ahead on an adult, baby. Adult. Be able to make decisions just based on the fact that it's not healthy, it's not good. I don't want it. You understand? When it get like that, it can get like that. If it's like that, it's like that. You shouldn't want it. Walk away from it. I did. People, you gotta do look, bye. I can't do it if it ain't healthy. I don't want no parts of it. Forget it. You can do it too. But more importantly, get to a place where you can have a healthy relationship. Moving on to Mr. Tyler Perry. Don't we love Tyler Perry? Can I be honest with you though and tell y'all something? When Tyler Perry first came out, my strong Pentecostal background would not allow me to watch. I couldn't. Look, to this day, I cannot do the men dressed like women. I can't do it. I don't care if it's Wesley Snipes. Who else did it? Chris Tucker, Flip Wilson. I don't know who else has done it because I wrote several pieces about stuff like that. I cannot do it. It's Ixnay on the Onion. When he's in movies, I seem to tolerate it more. And I love his work. Like his work is good. It's entertaining to say the least. So but Mr. Tyler Perry, oh my God, a billionaire. You see how I got on there? Tyler Perry is declared a billionaire by Forbes, and at the bottom I say, "Congrats, let's Jay-Z 2020." Jay-Z said in his songs, "What's better than 2 billion, 1 billionaire, two? What's better than 2 billionaires?" In other words, we got room for a whole bunch of black billionaires. We need more. I'm gonna be one. You're gonna be one. We're all gonna be one. So congratulations to Tyler Perry. Love the tribute he did at Tyler Perry Studios for Chadwick Boseman. That's Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. When I first went to Atlanta, Georgia, I think I was 18 years old. My sister was in the military. I went to live with her. It was one of those moments where I had been a single parent. As you know, I'm a teen, so I was a single parent. I already had three kids, and I was only 19 years old. And so that's why I don't talk. I talk to people to elevate your conscious mind, not to condemn you, but to bring us to a place where we can understand that it's okay for us to do better, to live better, and to have more. So Tyler Perry, when I first went to Atlanta, didn't know nothing about Tyler Perry. That was a long time ago. But Atlanta was the first city I went to where black folk was kicking it. I'm talking about Buckhead. I'm talking about black folks had big houses, Mercedes Benz, BMW, Jaguars, all the cars that was hitting back then. Because they didn't have Phantoms, they had Rolls Royces, but that was for people who were super, super, super rich. But they had the Jaguars, the BMWs, and the Mercedes Benz, and all that stuff. And the Saabs. Remember the Saabs? Baby, Atlanta was the truth. And it really opened my eyes. If I never, ever, ever, ever in my life thought I could make it at that point, Atlanta sealed the deal for me. Atlanta was like, girl, you're going to be okay. Some type of way. Atlanta had that effect. And so I'm not surprised he built his studio there. And he bought it and it was slave land, all kinds of good stuff. So he's a billionaire. Funny thing is, I thought he was a billionaire already. Did anybody else think that? I could have sworn I thought he was a billionaire already. But hey, Forbes officially said this man is a billionaire. So major shout out to Tyler Perry. My question is, Tyler Perry, why you didn't make none of my short stories in my book, Salon Stories, which is now changed to Things I Wish I Knew? Why didn't you make any of those a movie? Because that's movie stuff. Tyler Perry, talk to me. Talk to me, Tyler Perry. I need a conversation with you because I know for a fact that my work is banging. It's the bazizzle. So again, congratulations to Tyler Perry. I think he has a son. I don't know if he's married or not, but so congratulations goes out to him. This man gets to leave an inheritance to his son. Speaking of inheritance, just so you guys know, this month is National. Oh, give me just a second. This month is National Life Insurance Month. I'm gonna show you how for real I am. So this month is National Life Insurance Month. So I add this to my website. I'm an entrepreneur, and since we brought up leaving an inheritance to your child, it's a good way for me to. Hold on a second. I can't type with one hand. So yeah, imagine your dad being Tyler Perry. Like, imagine your dad. You're gonna grow up. Ooh, like Future Son is growing up with Sierra and Russell Wilson, and well, it's too many rich black folks now. T.I. and Tainted Kids, Steve Harvey kids. Look, everybody rich, all the rich folks. But imagine what it's like to grow up in a household and know that your parents are super, super rich. I think I saw Portia Williams' daughter had a little pink Porsche or Cadillac truck or something. Yeah. So just imagine what it's like to grow up rich. Hey, we all need a piece of that pie. And imagine what his how his son is going to grow up knowing his dad is stinky rich. I think that's super, super, super nice. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Tyler Perry is leaving an inheritance to his son. Uh-huh. Now, you're not Tyler Perry. However, you have all the right in the world to leave a nice little policy. I'm trying to get back to take Tyler Perry down. I got a mouse in my hand, y'all. This is what I'm trying to do. So you're not Tyler Perry, right? But you still have the option to definitely get you a life policy. I'm a life insurance agent. Yeah. Call me at that number if you need a life policy, 314-472-8127. September is National Life Insurance Month. Yay! We want to make sure we leave an inheritance to our children. I'm going to close this show out like I always do, and letting you know that guess what? Why do I feel this way? Why are we having these conversations about doing better, being better, blah, blah, blah? Because it's our time. It is our time. I honestly believe that. It is our time. It's our time. Say that with me. It is our time. It is our time. It is our time. Say that with me. Say that with me. It is our time. It is our time. It is our time. You know I'm a little hyped tonight. So if you want to support this show in any way, hit the Cash App at KV Product. Hit the Cash App if you want to do Zelle or anything like that. Let me know. PayPal, and I'll give you the information. You can DM me, inbox me, whatever the case may be. Put it up under this post. I don't care. I'll let you know what's up. I do have the Conscious Book Collection. The Conscious Book Collection are all of my books. Let me show them to you. That you can find on my website and on Amazon, by the way. You have the Legacy Workbook. Yay! Did I tell you it's going to be up September the 1st? Get the Legacy Workbook. It's a conscious awareness guide to help to restore the Black family. So basically, you're going to go through this book. It's going to talk to you about everything: loyalty, trust, commitment, blah, blah, blah. Really build your family up really strong in those areas. You're going to create a family covenant and then a family crest. Yeah, hey. Hurt people, help people. You heard me say earlier about the sexual abuse trauma. Guess what? A lot of us have trauma. Over 60% of African American females will suffer from some type of childhood sexual trauma. 40% of those before the age 12. Get Hurt People, Help People has that free app in it. So your child doesn't have to wait till they're 40 to say, Uncle John or the teacher or the coach touch me. They tell you right now. Free app. Download the app. Get the book. The download of the app is free. You can go to my Facebook page, TBB Contact 3, and get it. Things I wish I knew. That is the book with all the stories about life and all that kind of stuff. It is a conscious mind. It basically teaches you how to become a conscious mind thinker to maximize your life and love experience. Y'all stop getting in these toxic relationships. It's just gonna help you out. It's like a guide. All my books are like guides. Finally, so you think you want to have sex is for our teens. Teach our teens, help them navigate through their teenage years so they don't make the same mistakes that a lot of us did. And basically just to teach them their whys. They might think they want to have sex, but they really just missing their daddy. They have all this emotional imbalance. And so we want to help them figure out their life during those tough times. Don't just let your baby mess around and get pregnant. I don't care if it's two parents in the home. Children are like you. You don't be knowing what's on their mind or why or what day they're going to have a burden or stress, or somebody hit them with something that they weren't expecting that kind of puts their mind in a weird space. So you want to be there to continue to give them messages of love and help them register in their mind that sex is not the option for them at this moment in time in their life, honey, because you don't want to be paying no child support. All right. First book, Things I Wish I Knew. That's a gorgeous book. I would just want that book on my shelf because Kathy wrote it. Hey, classmates. Things I Wish I Knew. Here's my other book, So You Think You Want to Have Sex. I'm getting ready to do an order, by the way, because I got to send some copies off. You can order them on Amazon or you can order them through me. Doesn't matter. So You Think You Want to Have Sex. I don't have a copy of the Legacy Workbook because I just published it today, and I'll get copies in about 5 days. And Hurt People, Help People. All written by yours truly. I do want to thank you for joining me tonight for this episode of, yep, you can shop on Amazon. How did they get up there? So I do want to thank you for joining me tonight. I know the show went a little long, but it's your conscious hour. So this is good information to feed your conscious mind. This is not just entertainment. We want to help you think better, grow better, and elevate. It's all about the elevation. We got to elevate. If you want to find any of my books, you can go to Amazon or you can go to my webpage, which is khconsciouscoach.org. Who am I? I am Kathleen Harrod. I am chosen an educator, author, a speaker, and a writer. Chosen educator, author, speaker, and writer. And I know I am. So for sure, look that up there. You guys have a great and wonderful night. See you next time on the Conscious Hour. Bye bye.